So, how do we get from the basic chord sequence for true colours to the other thing, to the full arpeggio thing? But before I go into that, the first thing is, this all started off because there's a problem, a small problem with memorising that chord order, and then obviously doing that 3 times, and on the 4th time you reverse it. And you have to start off by spelling the chord out, which means that you're going to be consciously pushing your fingers with your mind to the 2nd chord. I'll try and play in orthodox shapes. Or whichever F you play, any of those Fs. But you have to consciously, you have to talk yourself through that when you first start doing it. It's no good reading it on a sheet or on a board or on your phone. You have to hold those 4 chords in your memory, and you have to be saying C, A minor, G, what's next, C, F. And you can ask yourself those kind of questions: A minor, G, C, F. You've got to be talking those through when you first start establishing it, because what you're trying to do is get them flowing so that the sound of those chords make a contour, and you start. And you move from saying the chords to the sound of them making the contour that you recognise, as opposed to the names of the chords that you recognise. And as you're doing that, and the sound is making that I keep playing G6, sorry, A minor, G, C, F. As you're making those contours, the sound's making a contour. Your fingers start relating. The movements that your hand and fingers make start to relate to that contour as well. And all the while, if you have to keep bringing to the fore in your mind. You're checking that as you're playing the chords, your thinking mind, your language, the bit that's speaking about it, is going, yeah, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. So essentially you're moving from saying, okay, spell it out, so I've got to go, what is it? C, A minor, yes, A minor. What's the next? G, yes. To C, yeah. To F. I'll give you the options for different Fs. Until you're going, your language mind just going, fine, 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 that's fine. That's all fine, and the contour is fine. Lots of strategies which I've gone into in the class, and I'll go into more, and we'll be doing this in more detail with songs coming up, but that's the starting point of what we did last week. The question is now is the intro and one of the guitar parts on the Timberlake version and on the Cassidy version. The intro is okay. So the first thing is the basic chord sequence. The root of the chord moves from here to here to here, and then if you've got the full F in, but you'll be playing either or. So the root movement goes if you're playing the simple F, but you need the root movement to go. So it's going from up, and the way you do that is come from A minor. Instead of playing a G, you play G slash B, which means you don't play the bottom string. You play that. So it's I can hold the full chord, but I just don't play the bottom string. I'll try and stick to the very simple F, and then anybody else can put the more difficult Fs in. So now you've got that. Sorry. But the other thing you can do is the chord shapes. You get used to putting your fingers in one position, but you don't need to put all of these chords in, and you've got to twist your wrist and then twist back again. You know, there, twist. You can re-finger it. You've got plenty of work to be doing, so you might, make it more efficient by re-fingering. So I don't even bother playing the bottom notes. Just do that. So I don't play it, because I'm not playing it, why finger it? So. That's the basement root movement. Now, on the top of the chord, instead of playing A minor, it's actually A minor 7. There's various ways voicings, but the one that's played is by putting a G note on the top of the chord. Right. You can leave that pedal in for every chord if you want to. Or you can take it off, go to there. Which I just moved it across. From there to there. To C. Right, so you can do that. You're still strumming. Now the strums are going like basically they're going. If I tick tock, I'll do the metronome with my tick tock patented tick tock sound. So it's just tick tock 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 tick tock 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 tick tock 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 tick tock tock. So you're strumming on the tick on the one at the bottom, and you're leaving the rest of it empty. Okay. Now you can do various things. A stepping stone to the full fancy intro is to just basically play the top 2 strings and the root with your thumb. You can do it without the pick. So root with your thumb, top 2 strings, and you end up with this. And you get in when you do that, getting a sense of the sound, altering the contour, because you're reducing the number of notes in the chord. I keep putting that note in, so it should be. Right, you get in altering the contour. You can try that. You can do different strings. You can do, drop down to these 2 strings for the B, which gets you closer to the. Just change, that's music. That's to play around with. Once you've got, but the thing is, there's a good reason to stay with that. That's another level of complexity for your ear to get used to, from just going. That's wrong chord. That's more. That's a level of by isolating strings, which helps you control the contour a little bit more. That's work. There's plenty of work there for you to get on with and for your ear to get used to. But after that, what we do is, instead of just strumming everything on the tick, we've got 3 tocks. So we take the chords, instead of going, in essence, we could go tick tock 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 tick tock 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 tick tock 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 tick tock tock tock, which would be saying crap. But we can use those slots, the tocks, to play individual notes out of the chord, which in a particular order, which would just be. So can you? It would be like tick tock 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 tick tick. I can't say it. Tick tock tock tick tick tock 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 tick tock 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 tick tock tock tock. That's just about doable. So it's getting the idea that you use the metronome, the pulse, to position your pick, picking individual notes outside the chord, inside the chord. That's one principle that you want to get. The thing is when you listen to the track, do a read through, or listen before you try and play that. You want to be listening to that and hearing the way it spaces along the pulse, because the rising and falling of the notes in the contour, the rising and falling and pattern of that is going to distract you from the timing of it. So it's more listening, I'm afraid. After that, it's how you get the technique to play it. Well, you basically, again, there's no need to hold the foot. You find your position by holding the full A minor 7 shape, but you only need this. I'm using my thumb there, but if you're finger picking, which you've basically got to, and I did talk about using a pick, but I'm not talking about that now, is you're going to be using your thumb for the bass note, and I'd say one finger, because as you wear your finger, you can go to another finger. So you want to practice going. So can you see the pattern that you have to bounce between these two strings? Again, the more you can sing that, you've got to start from the perspective of singing the pattern. Ding, 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 ding. You've got to be able to sing, not in tune, or as well as I can sing it in tune, but you've got to sing it. So when you play it, the pattern you got in your ear is matching that, and this bit, your thinking part of your head, is going, yeah, that matches. Now you need a bit of spelling. If you want spelling for it, it's 1 on the top string, 2 picks on your left hand. Actually, just bring that up close to the left hand. So it's just no, sorry, this hand, sorry, my other left hand, my right hand. Yeah. So close up, this is the fingering pattern, and I'd recommend using it 1 finger. I'll just do it without any. No, I'll do it without sound and then with sound. So it's 1 followed by 2, but after that it's 2 followed by 2. Right. So and with sound, so it's this. It's starting off. Ding, 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 ding. That verbal bit about telling you the note groupings. You should just be able to, if you don't think too much, you should be able to get that, right? And then with the sound, sorry. So as you're hearing the sound on this, still notice it's 2 there, 2 on there, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Because the sound of the notes, you can pull that back now. The sound of that, the contour of the notes, is going to mess up with your idea. You've got to get that sense as well, because you're going to have to make your fingers spell that when you first start doing it. Now your right hand, if you bring it into the right hand, you've got to get used to the sound, which is this string, obviously, as you can see. You've got to get used to two notes being on that string, and then 1 note on here. Starts off with 1 note, and after that it's 2. You've got to get that going. That's like learning a chord. What I said at the top of this, which is memorising the order of the chords. Memorising the order of the chords is like, you've got to get that going. You've got to spell that at first, and then after it, you do. That's all you do. This for every chord change. It's this. It's this. For the 3 chords, you just have to play the root note of the chord, which is A minor. Oh. That's the first one. See that? I'll play it with the root, without the root, and with the root. So without the root. Right, and then it's on the second one of them, it comes to change the root. Change the root again. And instead of going to there, you go straight to the F. The way you play F, it'll affect the contour of the whole riff. But that's something to be talk about. Do it with your ear. Leave you some homework to do there. So, but the trick is that it's that's 3 times. That's 1 with and 1 without. So you can see it's the same thing. The alternation, you've also got to get used to the root movement affecting the way, destabilising your ear, not forgetting the masking for your ear that's the same thing. do it fast. And back to, so that's the whole thing. Just play it once or a couple of times through. But you notice I'm not bothering to play the full A minor 7. You can't. You're hard for you to see on the video. But actually, I'm not playing either of those notes in that chord, so it makes it easier. That my fingers coming in there. It's not playing. That's not playing anything. And that's it. If you can, with this simplest of one, if the incentive is to make, if you get some incentive to make it sound better, hooking your thumb over to play the low root makes it sound a bit nicer. And that's your target note in the chord. Which, if you play those two together, it works fine. But when you play the rest of the notes, it's probably better not to have that one in. This is something to play around with, though. That gives you more of a contour. I might be wrong there. I don't listen to the record. I'm a bit hesitant there because I haven't sorted that out for myself yet. My finger's not actually. Do you notice that? Like I said, this is the thing. Just because you know how to do it, you still have to then execute. Like it's like a sporting event. You've got to be able to execute. If you throw the javelin, you've got to be able to release the javelin right without thinking. And this finger's not quite doing what it wants to do on the F, but that should be enough anyway. There you go.